Hi guys, it's been a while. I apologize about that. I been busy though. I just wanted to show a couple of the projects I've been working on recently. This little pulse motor. Um, I've been ninking around with it for months now. It is currently running in the milliwatts, so 1.16 volts at about 14 milliamps. I've had it a little bit lower. This thing's so fragile that it's very difficult to get it any lower than this with this particular configuration. I have another circuit that goes quite a bit lower. It goes, I don't know, I think it's about 0.7 volts, and I'm not sure what the milliwatts was. It's been a while. But yeah, the thing's modular. Right there you can see some of the circuits and a bunch of the prototype rotors that I've made. This particular one is very fragile, and I've broken I don't know how many of them. But let me tear it apart and show you what's going on. As you can see, there's some foil on there. That's for an optical sensor, and I will show what that looks like. Just power that off, disconnect the power, and right here we have a neodymium sphere magnet, and I had to throw a few extra magnets on top because it just doesn't want to keep the rotor in place with this particular rotor. It's very difficult to get these rotors just right, but yeah, that's just one of the challenges. Okay, and then this comes off. This thing's been dropped I don't know how many times, so it's kind of bad shape, but the right now it's using a coil that was pulled out of a solar dancer, I guess we call it. And I've got a number of other ones. This one's actually in the pull position. If I moved it to the top, it'd be in the push position. And this circuit is using an opto chip there. Nothing to it really. And then I'm using this B3606 buck module. And those readings on the necessarily really accurate, but they're close enough. I'm not trying to break any records or anything like that, so it's close enough. We're in the milliwatts. This here is from David LaPointe's primer field. I printed this out to match up with that one, and that one is for the primer cube. This is a poor man's version of the primer cube. You'll have to look into that. It still needs a little bit of work because it's not quite in balance. 3D printing is not quite like machining as he recommended, although recently he's come out and said that he can print with a lot more accuracy. Well, I'm new to 3D printing and CAD, so I think I need to reprint that out, even though I've done it a couple more times, and see if I can get a little bit more balanced version. Yeah, so that was one of my first 3D projects. Actually, I think that case there for the buck circuit was the first thing that I really tackled. And then we moved on to all these rotors. And yeah, and the other thing I'm working on currently is this. This is my wood stove project. Hopefully that's coming out clear. It gives me the temperature, indoor temperature below, and the temperature of the wood stove, and then what direction it's heading. And right now it's a negative 0.4 degrees per minute, and that right there gives me good indication whether or not I need to add air or wood, or if it's too warm it will set off an alarm. It has a low temp alarm too, but I really haven't been using that so much. But then there's a phase 2, which is going to be based on the ESP 826612F chip Wi-Fi. So I should say this, that it's currently using the RF24 and a thermocouple on another Arduino that looks pretty much like this, but it's got the thermocouple attached to it, and it inserts into a piece of aluminum that I have on top of the wood stove to get the readings, and then it transmits it through an RF24 transceiver and digital thermometer. Was it a DS18 something or other chip that I'm using another Arduino to transmit to this transceiver right here. So this is phase 1. Phase 2 is going to move on to infrared measuring and using Wi-Fi. So I've got it breadboarded up here, and this for some reason is not working. I don't know why. That's why I re-breadboarded it. So yeah, those are just a few of the projects I'm working on right now. There's one other one that I'm currently working on, and that is for coil winding. Got these little jigs here. Hopefully I'm in frame. So little jigs right here that I made because of a conversation I had online with a user named Mescal, I believe is how it's said. Anyhow, these are little jigs. One's bigger than the other, and there's going to be about 13 of them. One each getting progressively bigger. And here is the result of the first winding. And then they'll stack one on top of the other. It's what I call my Pringle coil. And I was going to make some bifilers. This is just a single filer. So yeah, turned out pretty nice. I need to wind those, and I need to do a whole lot of other things. But so that's pretty much what I've been up to, and I hope you have a good day.